Alright, hello everyone, welcome back. We're going to talk about our next video on converting conversions, kind of the things that we talked about in the last lesson a little bit. So if we come over here and click new class, we'll call it converting. One of the things I didn't show you, and I'll show you in here, let's just get rid of this. So we'll do static. Notice here I'm not, oops, can't do that, converting. What I'm doing here is I'm not adding any strings. So if I wanted to put the string arguments up there, then that was if I'm accepting any variable types to be passed to that method. But in this case, we're not. We're just because let's say that down the road we wanted that method to add something up. So what we could do is say the method was like, let's say, oh, I don't know, we'll just make something up. Let's say that we send a variable type up here, and the string was, we're going to pass in, let's see here. Let's say that we wanted to add value. So let's say, try to think of something good here. Let's say int number 1 and int number 2. Okay. So we're accepting two numbers to be passed in. And in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see here, we want to declare it int number 3, right? So we said before, set it at 0 so it has some type of value. All right, so what we're doing up here is we're going to say, oh, okay, let's call that method converting, and let's pass in some numbers. Let's pass in 22 and 33, okay? Oops, I can't type. Oh, geez. All right, so now we're going to call that method, call method, and pass numbers. All right, so it's expecting us to pass 22 and 33. So right here, let's see if it even works. Let's see here, we want to put number 1 and number 2. Oh, Jesus. All right, so it didn't like print line. Oh, because I'm doing adding two things up and it doesn't like that. So let's just do number 1 for now. Run that. All right, so as you see here, it passes number 22 in. So it says, you know what? It did work. It did pass in. Another way that you can tell is, let's say that I put a mark there and I want to run it. Well, I was hoping it would stop there, but it didn't. It would. All right, so in this case, it passing that value. So that's just an example. I wanted to show you something there where you could pass in different values. You could add them up. Another thing is, let's kind of erase this for now. Actually, you know what? Let's go back and let's save this. Well, let's leave it like that. We'll leave that string here. What we'll do is for our thing is we'll call a different method. So let's create a new method called, and that is really, converting is not what it's doing there. Accept variables. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do a method down here called, see, change, and now it doesn't know what to call it. All right, so we're going to say converting. All right, so in this case right here, we're setting up variables. So what we're going to do is we're going to comment this out because we're not worried about this right now. So we're going to do converting information here. So let's start out, and this is something I didn't show. You know how like before I did S1 and then S2, and then if you want to do S3, it sounds kind of crazy and it looks like too much code. But one of the things is you could do is put it all in one line, which is nice about the string. You could do string S1, S2. Look at that. You declared your strings on one line, and it saves a lot of room when coding. So that's what we'll do. Now we'll declare a number. We'll say int num equals 44. And these are some of the examples that you've seen within the lecture. If you do double D equals 1.234, Boom. And if we do S1 equals integer to string, as you notice here, when I'm typing this in, it's bringing up options that says, hey, I can do this. I can do whatever you want me to do. So I do into string, and then I put the number in there. So I'm saying, hey, let's take this S1 value, which is a string, and let's convert it to a number. Another thing is, if we wanted to do S2 equals double dot toString, we're taking a double value and making it a string now. If we want to do int I double D, string S1 equals 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. Geez, she doesn't like that because we already have something. So we're going to call it S3 D1 because those guys already exist. All right, let's comment these guys out for now. You know what? Let's just get rid of these guys for now. All right, so we have this, and see when we want to print it out. So we could do for example. So we're going to call print1, and we're going to pass in that method, which is converting. Run it with the value 44. That's what we're expecting. We can change it to S2, 1.234. You can change it to and so forth. So just an example, and we'll talk about how to add other lines so that we have different lines. You could, you could do it this way as well if you wanted to. You could say, you know what, you could just print line S1, run it. Now you have two lines back to back there. Let's create a new method. All right, in this method here, we're going to start off, because now we could declare what we wanted to here. You could do string again if you wanted to, because it doesn't know that it's been declared because it's only in that method. So for example, if I do S2 equals 1.23 and then end it here, you notice it's fine because we have it in a different method. If I declared 2 up here again and say, you know what, like if, say for example, I did this, I did string S2, look, duplicate local variable. So in this case, this is a new method, and I'm just doing a new declaration down here. So we'll set it I equals integer, which we didn't declare, so we need to declare it first. So let's say int I equals 0. Then we'll do double D. See, all good. Then we'll come down here and say I equals integer dot parse. Everyone knows what parsing is. It's just being able to take information. I'll tell you about it in a second here. So let's say, for example, we have a problem here because we don't have an S1, we have an S2. So let's say, for example, you are scraping a website. So a lot of things, what happens within search engine optimization marketing, companies usually compete against other companies with AdWords, keywords. Very popular. That's kind of where Google makes probably, I don't know, 70% of their money is based off of people advertising on the internet. So certain keywords can generate $20,000 to $50,000 a day. It's just amazing the business that they're utilizing that with. But kind of what I'm getting at is, if Google was doing a screen scrape on a competitor's website, such as Yahoo, Bing, I think it is, and other things, they could do a search, and then what they could do is they could get the HTML and the site, kind of scrape it and copy all the HTML, and they throw it into a database. Well, the thing is, once it's thrown into a database, it's just a bunch of HTML code, and it's meaningless. But what they'll do is they'll go through and find certain key points. Let's say that they're looking for keywords of lawyers. or keywords of computer science or something along that lines, what they'll do is we'll take that information and parse it into a database. So it'll say, okay, keywords used on September 8th, 2015. And it'll just parse that information. And that's kind of what's happening here. You're parsing the information. So in this case, we're going to parse this on the screen. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the D equals double dot. Be nice if I could type. Double dot parse double string. See, it already came up for us, which was nice. Alright, so I already brought it up, parse a double. And let's create a system. Another thing you could do instead of typing this out every single time, which gets annoying, is you could just do this. You could just do I. Run it. But right now it's going to call. We have to change that. See, conversions. All right. Oh, we got a bunch of exceptions. That's awesome. All right, did I put the right one? String 2 equals. Okay. Parse at 49. All right, number section 35. So it blew up somewhere. It didn't like something that we were doing. So let's take this out real quick. And parse S2. Because we didn't convert it. Oh, that's right. Let's do S2 real quick. Oh, hold on. Let's do D real quick. Didn't like that either. Alright, so we were having these problems here. So what I did is I took the I out. So what we could do is I tested it with this thing right here at X. So when I do that, that works. So what we want to do here is take, we already have I declared. Then we want to do integer dot parse, and then we want to put S2. Let's comment this out for a second. Let's try this, see if this works. Run it. Alright, so now it works. See, the thing is, when I put the decimal in there, it doesn't like that. You can't do that. It has an exception. So it does an exception. It doesn't know what to do with that. Because it's like, are you telling me it's a string or are you telling me it's something else? Because by doing that, it makes it think that it's either a double or something else, or a float, or whatever the case is. So it gets confused. So in that case, that's kind of what you have to do with this. So this right here was just a little explanation on different ways that you could do conversions. In the book, it has different information as well. I could post other additional information, but this is kind of the end of this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.